All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fight on Montana podcast. My name is Adam Healy, one of the hosts. I'm a Montana native, and I've had a passion for Griz athletics ever since I was born, and that was passed down to me by my grandfather and former Griz. And I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend.
What's up, y'all? My name's Angel. I had playing this from 2015 all the way. I developed, I guess, an appreciation just developed during my time here. It was one of the things that at the end of my career, I just kind of sat back and realized what I wanted to do as far as giving back to the community, and I felt that this would be a great starting place. I don't think I could ever replace or give back to what the community gave me, but it just gave me an opportunity just to give back a little bit. And I think during this process, like we take a deep dive, continue to talk some ball, and that's all it really is.
Exactly. Hey guys, before we get to our episode today, like Angel said, we're going to take a deep dive. We're going to preview the Cal Poly versus Montana game. But just before we want to go into some Griz updates, into some lady sports, lady Griz soccer, they had a huge win against Long Beach State at Long Beach State, 1-0. They've got the win there. They've got some games coming up here, I believe Friday or this Saturday as well. So get out and support Lady Griz soccer. They're heating up, man, and they're fun to watch, man. Also, we have Griz Lady Volleyball.
What's that up, man? I mean, just being part of like the way they come out on top. Oh,
yeah, it's going in and out a little bit, buddy.
Living.
I can't hear you, dude. If you can hear me, I can't hear you at all. I can hear little glimpses of you, but not much.
Yo.
Yeah, what's on?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Give me a second, dude. I'm going to try to set up in the living room, maybe closer to the router.
Okay.
I don't know, my phone's being so weird. You still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, give me a second. I think it might be better to do it out here. I feel like I have just a little bit better connection.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let me turn down the music. Turn on TV. Ow. I can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you hear me?
Uh,
Yeah, you hear me? Yo, man.
all right. Can you hear me a little better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Hopefully, man. Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. We're still rolling, so I'll just edit it out, and so we'll just go from where we left off, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Was
And
my
so
audio okay up until then?
yeah, it was, and then it kind of cut out, and then you were gone.
All right. Do you want to just start over just from right here and then just cut out the last 6 minutes?
Um,
Or did you get a good intro? I didn't know if I was able to be heard or not. I don't know where I cut out.
yeah, let's just start it from here, man. We'll just
All
start
right,
it from
cool.
here, and then we'll just start over. Okay.
All right. Sounds good, brother.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Fight on Montana podcast. I am one of your hosts, Adam Healy. I am a Montana native. I have had a passion for Griz athletics since I was born, and that was passed down to me by my family and none other than my grandfather, a former Griz. I am, awesomely excited to have the man, the myth, the legend, and my other host with me.
Hey, man, you give me too much credit, Adam. I swear on everything I love. I appreciate the love, though. Appreciate the love. What's up, y'all? My name's Angel Villanueva. I'm originally from, don't hate me by saying this, but I'm from California originally. I played here football from 2015 all the way until late 2019. That last year, we had an opportunity to head to the I guess the quarters, which is a huge feat for me. Being able to experience that playoff berth was super exciting, and I've had a passion for Griz athletics since I came here. A little bit about myself. My family experienced a fire when I was a freshman here, and the outpour that I received from the community was just out of this world. And because of that, I developed. I kind of thought of ways of how can I get back to the community, and it's obviously not much, but I feel this is just paying it a little bit forward. Being able to sit down, talk about Griz athletics, give you guys some, kind of cool stories that you probably won't normally hear. So just being able to join Adam has been a true blessing, man. I'm just grateful to be here.
Yeah, and the whole point of this show, guys, is take a deep dive into everything Grizzly athletics, and giving you insight, updates, our opinions, even if you don't want them, and just letting you know what's going on. So, like always, we preview the next Griz game, which is this coming weekend. They play Cal Poly at Cal Poly. But before we get to that, guys, we'd just like to give a little shout out and a Griz update, as you would, to some of the sports that are playing right now, and they've played since the last time we've had an episode. Griz ladies soccer has had a phenomenal time. They've had a couple ups and downs, but now looks like they're on the back end of a great swing where they are rolling. They were at Long Beach State. They won 1-0 in an awesome game. If you watched it, if you are not watching Griz soccer, you guys are missing out. These ladies are truly putting it all out on the field. They play tomorrow at Northern Arizona. You can catch it on ESPN Plus, so definitely check that out.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. I mean, I've mentioned this a couple of times in the podcast, but the work that they put in is absolutely incredible. You
Yeah.
know, it really is top tier, and the program in general is producing some really solid players. And what's
Yep.
even cool about it is that they're better people, off the
Yeah.
field. And I think that just speaks to the culture of what it's like to play here at the university. So if there's any young cats out there that kind of debating to go into UM, make the right decision and commit, man. I think it's good for all people. I think that there's so much to learn, and you're coming from a program that has a lot of tradition, a lot of excellence, and I think it's just beneficial to so many people.
Exactly, exactly. Also, Griz Lady Volleyball, they have had a kind of an up and down year so far, but they've had some good points and some bad points in the year. They're coming off 2 losses, one at Cal State Bakersfield, and then also just last night, I believe, against the Cats. They
Hmm.
lost, unfortunately. So they are actually playing as we speak
Hmm.
at University of Northern Colorado. So
Do you know the
want to
score
give
by
a,
chance?
the last time I checked it, they were down 2 matches.
Uh-huh.
Which with this team, if you followed Griz volleyball this year, they've come back. Bet you like 2 times from 0-2 deficits to win 3-2. So we're crossing our fingers and we're cheering hard for Lady Griz volleyball to make that swing again.
Yeah, you can't fucking knock them out. That's one of the things. I
No.
mean, regardless of who we decide to play, it's still. I think that's one of the coolest things about being part of this program, that you can't knock out the Grizz. Until
Yep.
until those numbers hit 0-0-0. You can never roll them out. And so
Yep.
again, they started off on a hot streak. They've been down this past couple of weeks, but I think they're gonna make a comeback, man. I really
Yeah.
do.
Well, and I think Griz volleyball, it's had some high points and low points, but I really think they're like soccer has and like football has and like basketball has. They're really trying to get that culture down. And I
Hmm.
think here this year they're doing better than they did last year, and I think that you're only going to see with that culture being adhered and kind of more solidified. I think you're going to see Griz volleyball really
Hmm.
flourish.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think it's one of the coolest things, just to be able to see where they started at. I mean, because they've had
Yeah.
some rough couple years, to
Yep.
kind of where they're transitioning to, and the quality of people and the quality of players that they're actually bringing in, and how they're able to kind of overcome some of those obstacles. I mean, that's sports for you. What else could
Yep.
you ask for on a sports team? You're gonna hit, rough patches. You're gonna face some adversity. And the fact that these women are still playing the damn hearts out, I think it's just super promising, man. And I think you look across the spectrum of Grizz athletics, that's what you see.
Yep.
Regardless of who we play, it's a fight. It's a dog fight
Yep.
to the end. And
Yep.
regardless of what it is, we're gonna keep playing. And there's gonna be another tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna come. You know, tomorrow's gonna come. But they're playing like the night the last time. I think that's the coolest thing ever to see.
Yep. That Grizz fight, man. You
Yep.
can't beat it.
Yep.
So, Angel, we have some football. It seems like it's been forever since we've had some football with this week off. So we do have some football. We're playing Cal Poly at Cal Poly. I did watch the game versus South Dakota, Cal Poly
Mhm.
versus South Dakota. It really hurt my eyes. It was really hard to watch, man. I don't know if you watched it, but man, oh man, the middle of the fourth quarter, I had to turn it off because it was just like, oh, it was hard to watch.
Mhm, mhm. No,
So,
most definitely, man. I mean, that's really been the theme of this team,
yeah,
of the Cal Poly team. They're a growing team. It's Baldwin's. It's technically his first official year.
yeah,
Where
yep,
actual, not no COVID year, and so
yeah,
because of that, he's gonna have a lot of growing to do. There's gonna be a lot of
yep,
growing pains, but he has a record that's been, pretty damn good if you ask me. And I hate to knock on anybody's, head and just fill it up with air. But I mean, I was reading this, just a profile, the bio profile on him, and they said specifically said he has a proven track record of winning Big Sky and national championships. And
mm-hmm,
it's definitely one of those years where he's gonna be building. But I think eventually he's gonna get to a point where they're a contender. Year in and year out, and because of his coaching style, because of how successful he has been, even going
yeah,
to a place like Eastern, it's kind of building from the ground up. It's going to take some time, but he's been known to be a really, really good coach, man. So as far as this year goes, it's going to be tough to watch in a lot of ways but I think
Yeah.
eventually it's going to get to a point where it's going to be real competitive between us and them. And that's all you could ask for, man. All you could ask for is good football games, good teams playing. Hopefully they're all safe. Hopefully there's no injuries on that team that they're going to be lingering that kind of end some of those guys' careers. I hope they play long careers, man. I really do, and that's across the board. I don't care who it is, except no, I'm not even going to say them, but I'm just going to say that you just hope for good football games, man, and good football, and that's all
Yeah.
you can really hope for, in this sport.
Yeah, well, they've had a kind of an up and down year already. They beat
Yeah.
San Diego. They go and play Fresno State and get the
Hey, let
crap
me tell you,
kicked.
Fresno State is playing some ball, though.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ. I mean, almost having to win against Oregon, which is, I mean, and they're
Yep.
considered number 3 in the, NCAA football.
Yeah.
I think they did. I don't know if I would say, do I think they're number 3? I don't think personally they're number 3, but I do think that they're a really damn good football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. Even with Washington, they've had a couple of weeks that struggled, but I think they're going to be on the up and up when it comes to, I mean, playing Pac-12 teams. I think they're
Yeah.
going to come out maybe one of the top contenders. Who knows? And that's the thing about football. You don't know. You
You
can't
never
rule
know.
shit out. You can't rule
Nope.
people out until it's all done.
Yep. Any given Saturday, man.
Any given Saturday,
So,
baby. Who knows? Who
yep.
knows? Everybody has a plan.
Yep. So, they go into the South Dakota game. I believe the ending score was like 42-17 or 42-14. I couldn't watch the rest of it. It was pretty hard on the eyes. They are actually coming off of a quarterback. So let's just like dive into their quarterback situation, because that's the glaring thing where that Fresno State game where they got it handed to them, they actually lost their starting quarterback. He actually fractured his hand. He's going to be out up to 5 weeks. And so that South Dakota game, they actually played a gray shirt freshman, Kalik Paulette. Which and this is with any freshman, you see some like really upside in the guy, and then the next play you're like, what in the world is that guy doing? But you really do see some upside. He can run. He's got an arm on him. Just that decision making isn't there, and so they really had a hard time finding what they were wanting to do. They really didn't pass it well. They really don't run it well at all. And then, the end of that game, they did have Connor Bruce, another quarterback, come in, and he went 3 for 3 at the end of the game. So they really don't know who's going to play quarterback this weekend. Probably it might be a little bit of both. But who knows? I don't think it's going to change the matchup. Because it's not gonna hurt the Griz. Let's be honest. It's not gonna hurt the Griz if someone else starts. It's not gonna hurt the defense.
And I think that just goes to speak to the type of preparation that we take into consideration. We really rule out all situations. We put ourselves in a situation where we practice, time and time again. Hey, what's gonna happen? What could happen? Who do we have to expect? And they base their scout team D and scout team O off, their playing styles. Thank goodness they're not running a triple option anymore, because I remember running triple option all week was hell, dude. I hated, when I was a freshman and I was redshirting, I hated practicing and pretending that we were a triple option team. It just, it was a grind, So the fact that now they're kind of stepping away from it, it just goes to show that I think the Griz are just ready. They're ready in all types of domains, all types of facets, and they're ready to go out there and work just like any other team. They know it's a team, it's a game of football, so you never know what's going to happen. And so it's one of those things that you can't rule Cal Poly out just because of, kind of the situations that they're going through, or, kind of some of the injury that they're going through. Like you said, I mean, kind of dumbing it back down to who's running the program. I mean, when he was playing for Eastern, or coaching at Eastern, he coached from 2008 all the way up to 2016. During that time, he had a 58-14 Big Sky record, and then overall he was 85-32, which is pretty damn good. I think a percentage was something crazy like 0.7 and 0.72. He's essentially the winningest coach of that program and of the Big Sky, right behind, you guessed it, Bobby Houck. to think that, they're neck and neck as far as, hey, the quality of coaches, it goes to show, like, yeah, they may have a rebuilding year just like Calc did, and we
Yeah.
struggled a little bit just like, our team did when we first got into transitioning and kind of getting used to, coaches style. I mean, all those guys have known is triple option. That's the only thing that they've known.
Yeah.
The fact that they're finally kind of going away from it is really good thing. It's
Yeah.
challenging those players. It's putting them in a position to understand, okay, well, we know how to kind of run with the triple option. We also kind of know how to, do this new style of football. So it's going to be challenging in a lot of ways, but I think it's promising, for that program specifically. And I don't mean to home. It's one of those things that I'm excited for the future of, because I think it's going to transition onto some really good football when it comes to just big side matchup.
Yeah, definitely, man. They don't run the ball very well either, so it'll be really interesting to see what they do to kind of get some offense going. Just with what they have, like you said, they're not running the triple option, which I am a fan of not running, because man, either it's gonna get nothing, or it's effective. You just let it roll it out. And if someone's not holding to what they need to do, you're going to get big yardage on it. So it is very interesting to see what they're going to do this week in Cal Poly.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, even going back down to the coach, man. I mean, he's going to put them in the best position to succeed. It doesn't matter who we play and who they play.
Yep.
I mean, going back to that 08 to 16 stint. I mean, 5 Big Sky championships. Which is pretty damn incredible. 6 playoff berths, a 2010 national championship. Then kind of transitioning on to, obviously, he went off to play at Cal, and he was a football coach there, and they were able to go to 2 bowls. I forgot what bowl. I think it was like the Cheez-Its Bowl and another bowl that they went through during this 3-year span there. I mean, when he transitioned over to Cal Poly, he brought over Kalik. Obviously, Kalik being a freshman, those are high expectations. That's high pressure, and sometimes it takes a little bit of while to kind of transition over. But it's one of those things that, like, hey, man, they got a lot of young players. So again, I'm just excited for the future of Big Sky football. I'm not high on Cal Poly for any other reason. I'm just saying that, hey, come down the road, it's going to transition onto some really good matchups. And this year it's going to be a little bit different, because we're at a point where we're a little bit established. We have the players that we want. We have the recruiting classes that we want. We have the players in the right positions in order to succeed as a unit for the rest of the year, but kind of moving down the line, it's going to still transition over. And so I'm just excited for, those types of things.
Yeah. Like you said, the only thing that really scares us is the coach. And so that's the only thing that really scares us about Cal Poly. But man, if you look at it, the coaches in the Big Sky, you're looking at the cream of the crop.
That's
also
true.
With McCafferty coming in at UNC, we'll see what he has to offer. But man, there are some good coaches in the Big Sky, and that's only going to make football better.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's just going to prove. I mean, that's what you want. Like I said, I mean, I sound like beating a dead horse, but repetitive. But you want good football. And the fact that we're able to be competitive. I mean, what the Big Sky or what just the FCS level has done to FBS teams this year has been fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking about the matchups, thinking about some of the big wins that we've had, I mean, even going back to a couple of weeks when Northern Arizona beat
Arizona.
Think about that, dude. I mean, 15 or 10 years ago or 5 years ago, even a couple years ago, that wasn't even discussion. But now I think the FCS deserves a little bit more respect. They're serious contenders with some serious coaches, with some serious players and really good ballers, So I think that's only to say that, hey, man, it's a good year for football. And this transition period, I hope it's one of those things that continues on.
Yeah. Well, and this is going to be, I'm going to bring something in that, doesn't involve Griz, but this is going to be interesting to see how all this plays out, with the Pac-12 losing so many games to the Big Sky, if they're going to play those games, just because the changing of the landscape of college sports is changing so much. And also, I believe the Big Ten signed a deal with the Pac-12 of that scheduling alliance. You might not see that again with Big Sky schools, just because they're going to be playing the Power 5 and they're not going to have time to play Big Sky teams.
Yeah. I mean, thinking about it too. I mean, like I said, we're getting to a point where we're serious. You know, the
Hmm.
FCS ball is serious, and the fact
Yep.
that these are supposed to be entry level games just to get your kind of feet wet and kind of put yourself in a position to get ready for the season. And I mean, these demoralizing wins. I mean, you can only imagine what that is to a program. So it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of transitioned over to see, hey, you know what, are we going to continue to schedule these teams, or are we going to go, a level under? Just to kind of guarantee that win, because it's a lot of money that they're forking over. It's a lot of time, and like I said, it's demoralizing to some of those players. Really, that Washington football team, I think they're a damn good football team, but the fact that we came in there and we beat them convincingly. I mean, on all levels, on all spectrums, special teams, offense, defense. I mean, we were giving it to them pound for pound the whole
Yep.
the whole way through. And so that type of stuff really changes I guess, the dynamics of a season for a team. And so the fact that we're able to do that just goes to show, man, like we're fucking here. I know you just mentioned a couple seconds ago or a couple minutes that, hey, we're kind of scared of ball. I'm not necessarily scared. I'm fucking excited, dude. I'm ready for them to go at it. And so it's one of those things. I'm heading out to the game this weekend too. I might be a little bit late because of work, but it's one of those things like, man, I'm ready to go. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
I'm really ready to go. And I had the fortune of being able to play when Baldwin was still there. But he had Cooper Cup, and that dude was serious. By the way, he's balling out in the NFL right now too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So seeing some of those some of those top tier players and how they transitioned over is just the I guess the future of FCS is bright, man. That's all I really got to say.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, and just to throw it out there, as my dog's barking at me,
Right?
um, we are not playing at Cal Poly. I think I said at Cal Poly.
Yeah.
We are actually, it's actually a homecoming weekend for the Grizz.
Come on, Adam.
So
Be
I know,
better. Get it right.
I'm sorry, man. It's been a week, man. Holy cow.
Oh yeah.
But hey,
Oh yeah.
going into their defense is nothing to kind of be scared about either. 570 total yards. Their people are averaging against them, 208 yards rushing, 330 plus average on passing. So I think that it's going to be we get our reps in, we get out early, hopefully, and we get some backups in with some time as well. So that's what I'm kind of thinking that's going to happen. And it's kind of, if you look at it too, Cal Poly didn't have any players on the preseason award list.
Yeah.
They've got huge holes. Like Angel said, they didn't play a year. They played 3 games last year, I believe. And then they had to, shut it down with a new coach. They're going to go through a lot of growing pains.
Yeah.
They don't have a QB that they're trying to search that out. And so they're going to have a lot of growing pains. This is going to hurt this weekend. And so what are you looking for the Griz to do this week, Angel?
You know what? I think the biggest thing is just kind of the same story from 2 weeks ago. Coming off a couple of big wins, having a bye week. I mean, I somewhere on Twitter, I think Sean, Rainey retweeted at one point. He was just like, from a bye week, we haven't won following that bye week since 2013. Which is pretty damn crazy to even think about. And thinking about in my career there, I was like, fuck, you're right. For me personally, that bye week has been tough. Coming off of wins like that, because I think at least I know for the last 2, we came off a win before the bye, and then that following week was, knock on wood, was a loss to us. So it wasn't like I wasn't putting in, and the team wasn't putting in any type of different effort, but it's a shift in energy, it's a shift in routine. And a lot of people say, oh, well, good, we need these bye weeks for injury, 100%. But at the same time, not continuously staying in that routine, what does that do to a team? How do you bounce back for something like that? How do you transition over and say, okay, we had a week off. What are we doing to prepare for this week? Again, we're not necessarily at a point where I'm like, okay, well, I'm scared about Cal Poly. I'm just more worried about the mental kind of state of some of those players, simply because, that bye week could be tough on people.
Exactly.
And I'm sure they're doing everything in their power to get ready and fucking ready to roll with the punches. But at the same time, it's like, okay, it's just a thought in the back of my head. Okay, what's it gonna look like? What do I expect out of these players? And by the way, shout out to Frank. Frank's been a reporter, and he's been covering. He's a journalist, and he's a writer, and he covers the Griz absolutely fantastic. If you guys don't follow him, give him a follow, man. Shoot him a follow on Twitter, man. He puts out some quality stuff, and he did kind of a breakdown of some of the key players to watch for Cal Poly this week. And again, quarterback, Kalik Paulette. Obviously, a
Yep.
Cal transfer that came over with Baldwin. Going
Yep.
down to the running back is Shakobe Harper. He's also a freshman. He's from Long Beach, California. Shout out to the Roots, you know what I'm saying? Wide
Yep.
receiver tight end Chris Coleman. He's a Fresno State transfer.
Fresno
They've been
State.
known to produce some pretty good players,
Yep.
And so, actually, like I said, Fresno's playing really damn good. So he was able to be part of a winning program,
And they also
moving down
have
to the.
Sorry, they also have a freshman wide receiver,
Yeah.
Michael Briscoe, that's putting up some numbers as well for him too. So
Yeah.
I think he's got over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
yeah, I mean, transitioning on to the O line. I mean, they have Wade Willett, which is their most experienced. He's seen some playing time in 23 games. Overall, as a unit on their offensive line, they've had 58 kind of players, or not 58 players, but on that all line, they had 58 games where they all kind of saw some type of action. So necessarily, they have a little bit of experience in kind of that realm. Going to the D line, Elijah Ponder, I think that's his name. He's another freshman. So again, I keep mentioning freshman, and a little bit of O line with some experience. Kind of looking down the line, young players. Thinking about my opportunity to play at a young age, it's a different feel than when I was a senior. It took a lot of growing pains. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of will and want to get to that point where I was like, okay, I'm fucking ready to go. I know I'm a damn good player. I know I can produce. I'm quality in my snaps, and I take every snap seriously, And so it's gonna be interesting to see how it kind of transitions over, what kind of happens this week. So I guess my expectations for the Griz is to keep the train rolling. They're in a position where they're sitting pretty. They're looking good. They've had some big plays. They played some really good football. But as far as numbers of what I'm expecting on a team, I want to see another 500-yarder. I want Cam to throw, 3 touchdowns. I want there to be over 250 yards of rushing. That just goes to show that coming off a bye week and playing another team, because regardless of who you play, I don't care if it's D2, D3, a JUCO, winning's hard. Winning is damn hard. And that I guess that was one of the biggest things that Coach Bobby ingrained in my head. Winning's hard, and regardless if it's by 1 point or if it's by 50 points, it takes a lot of effort from the coaches, a lot of effort from the players, and it's not a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, Angel, we had actually a listener reach out to me, and he had a question for us. So I'll give a shout out to Michael Kemper. He's one of our listeners. He had a question for you, Angel. You mentioned the layoff and what that entailed. Looking at what we have coming up, we have Eastern Washington. It is just moved to ESPN2, 8:30.
Yep. Crazy.
And on a Saturday, that's going to be, a quick turnaround, because, they're going to be playing this Saturday. There's going to be a quick turnaround and traveling to Eastern Washington. It's not necessarily a long travel, but do the Griz, and this is his question, do the Griz on a off week, a bye week, do they plan for 2 teams? So like an example, would they plan and put in Cal Poly, and then would they put in a little bit for Eastern Washington just because of the time? Or would they take a team at a team glance and have just that team?
Well,
because you have that whole extra week there. Would you have that time to do that?
Yeah, primarily the big focus of a bye week is really to, if you have any nicks and knacks, to, not necessarily take it easy, but put your body in the best position to succeed. Whether that be extra time in the training room, whether that be extra time in the weight room. I'm not talking about lifting weights. I'm talking about, doing the rollout, getting that acupuncture, getting those massages, putting yourself in a position to feel good for that week. But I'm always going to say the most important game is the next one. That's I think that's a philosophy that Tom Brady lives by. The most important win is the next one. The most important game is the next one. So no, simply because that's 2 things at once. It's already as tough as it is to focus on one team. Now imagine try to put 2 teams in the same week, knowing it just causes a lot of confusion. It's out of routine. On a normal week, you're not sitting there looking to play both teams that same week. Who are we playing? We're playing Cal Poly. So that emphasis and that focus is really on the next team. And in this case would be Cal Poly. If it was switched around, if we were playing Easton this week, it'd be the same thing. And Cal Poly next week, it'd be the same thing. It'd be, hey, you know what? Regardless of the big games, it doesn't matter. The most important one is the next one.
Do you think, um, that maybe the coaching staff gets ready for the other team? Because like I'm thinking basketball, and I know basketball and football are apples and oranges, but I
Yep.
think of basketball going into the national tournament. They plan for 2 games. Basically, they do it that way just because of the short distance of those games. Do you think that this coaching staff does that, where they don't put a game plan in with the whole team, but they get ready for it?
Well, you know what? I think it's one of those things that as coaches, you have a different responsibility than as a player. With
Yeah.
a player, you're so focused on the next team that's all you're training for and focused on. When it comes to coaches, possibly, who knows?
Yeah.
Realistically, I mean, I'm just thinking to myself as a coach, I got to get my week's worth of work done this week in order for obviously the game on Saturday. But at the same time, in the back of my head, am I going to get a head start on the following week? Am I going to start making cut ups? 100%. But the crazy part about it is those cut ups are done early in fall camp.
Yeah.
That film session, you can go back at any point and start looking ahead. I mean, the tools that we use, the film tools that we use, it's always looking ahead. So if those players want to take some extra time, after they feel that they've done, their due diligence as far as watching film, and that's the thing, you can never watch too much film. Of
No.
course, they have that opportunity if they want to look ahead a little bit. Look at players that they're kind of thinking about. I know me personally, it was one of the things that Coach Shermer always preached. He said, 15 minutes of film could be the defining point of making you ready for, like, I guess I've well prepared to, extremely prepared,
Yeah.
and really that's the focus that these coaches are giving the players. Hey, spend 15 minutes extra. You never know what you can learn in 15 minutes. Same type of
Yeah.
approach. But I'm sure, is it going to be on their time that they're watching Eastern? No, it's going to be on the players' time if they want to. And this is late night. I mean, I saw a couple guys, just getting extra work in. Not necessarily folk, but I mean, I saw Sammy Cam and Malik Flowers just working on the catching capabilities. I saw another player, late hours watching film. I think it was Cal Poly they were watching, but still the fact that these players are going out of the way doing that extra stuff when they could easily just call it quits for the day and go home and rest. But that's not how these players are built. They're built to
Yeah.
grind. They're built to get after. They're built to fucking be ready. It's a job. Regardless
Yep.
of what everyone wants to say, well, no, it's college. No, it's a job.
Yeah.
It's grueling hours. It's tough. It's physical. Your body aches. A lot of times you're sitting there, you're like, I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to go through the pains. I don't want to sit here for another 15 minutes when I know that could be the drive home and I can be in my bed, relaxing, getting ready for the next day. No. These guys are taking it upon themselves. And that's, I think, the really difference that makes a team good to a team great.
To great. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
Amen.
that's really kind of where they're transitioning.
Yep. Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I expect the D to have some awesome the dominance to continue. I would love to see the line in the running game just kind of just come alive even more, and then just even more reps for Cam, and then even backup reps. I would love to see Chris get some backup reps and actually be able to let it loose. I don't really feel like he's been able to let it loose as much as I think they want him to, or they would like him to, just because the situations haven't been the right circumstance. So I'd love to see Chris get some time in there and just let him go, man. Just let him
play. That's a good point too. I mean, granted, we're still 2 games deep, so it's not like we've had a lot of games under our belt.
Exactly.
But it's one of those things. I mean, I think Chris is a fantastic player, man. I think after kind of Cam does his job, and at the end of the year, transition to next year, I think there's no reason why he can't be our guy. And he's at a point where he's had a couple of years under his belt. He's been under some great leadership. He's played with some great lines, so he's gonna transition to the general, general of the field. And I'm really kind of excited to see that. I know I kind of mentioned the offense, but even on the defensive side, man, I mean, I'm expecting at least 4 sacks. At least 5
at
tackles for
least
loss.
that, dude. At least that.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's me being on the lower spectrum of things, man. But I think they're going to
Yep.
steamroll them, man. I mean, the way those front seven guys play, the way that they blitz, the tenacity, ferocity they bring to the game. I want to see some numbers put up. I want those
Yep.
stats. I want those guys to have a career defining game to the point where, hey, I mean, I think everybody's been knowing, but I mean, we've had a lot of teams kind of stop by practices these past couple weeks.
Oh, heck yeah.
From
All those
all over the
NFL
NFL.
teams.
Yeah,
Holy cow. Yeah. It's like every
yeah. I
week
mean,
it's
just
like, hey, let's give a shout out to these NFL teams. I'm like, dang,
yeah,
dude. Like,
and
holy cow.
they're coming at groups at a time. It's not like one
Yeah.
guy's coming or two. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like seven teams are coming, four teams are coming, five teams are coming, and they range from all over the NFL spectrum. And every
Yeah.
time you see them, you're like, fuck, okay. I mean, they must be doing something right. People must be
Exactly.
enjoying the game. They must be putting themselves in a situation to kind of really succeed, and all that type of stuff. I mean, like I said, so they're watching. The
Well,
NFL
and
teams are watching.
that's a shout out to the development of the players, and also just the shout out to the players. Like, congratulations, you're getting what you've been working towards. You're getting identified as a
Hmm.
player, and we just wish them the best, man. That would be awesome to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
multiple guys in the NFL at one time.
yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, think about it, man. I mean, that's a dream, dude. That's
Yeah,
why you play. I mean, it goes so much deeper than football. I mean, people's livelihoods, people's families. I mean, growing up, I mean, that was the dream,
hmm,
and I was so passionate about it. And for a long time, it was like, there's no plan B. And I think that's
yep,
why I struggled so hard to transition from football, because it was always, hey, this is it for me. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to sacrifice for my peers, for my family, for myself. This is it. If I
yep.
don't make it, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with myself. But thank the Lord I transitioned. But I know some guys, it's tough. I mean, their whole life depend on it. The trajectory of their family, their last
Yep.
name that they wear on that jersey, man, it makes a fucking difference, dude. And so the fact that even if it's an opportunity to come to a camp, oh my gosh, that's a dream, dude. And
Amen.
I'm so passionate about it, dude. And all you can hope for is a big day on offense, a big day on defense, a big day on special teams. Brian controlling the field, putting them in the best position. Martinez
Yep.
going out there and kicking field out for hopefully the touchdowns, but at the same time giving some light to kind of spread it out where we can and put ourselves in a position to feel confident and feel ready for coming into next week, knowing that, hey, we're a damn good football team. We do things on all cylinders, and we get the job done.
So, Angel, I've had a couple conversations with people, and this is what I'm thinking. The Griz are so well preached and developed, and we have the backup on backups and what we're doing, that I think this year it's not who or if someone's going to beat the Griz. We're battling ourselves.
Yep.
The only person that's going to be able to beat us, past maybe some people in the playoffs and past the other team that we're not going to mention until the end of the year, is just ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be favored in all the games, plus the last one,
Mm-hmm.
and going into the playoffs until probably the semifinals, where we're gonna meet a like opponent. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying I don't mean to be rude to the other teams in the Big Sky. It's just the truth. Like, I'm sorry, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the truth that the way that we're structured is not comparable.
Yeah. No, and
So
that's something that I felt during my time there, and I think it's being shown this year, but every single year. And this wasn't to sound cocky. It wasn't because I was part of the football team. It wasn't because it was my team. It was one of those things where I truly believed in my heart that we were the most talented team on the field. Were we the
yeah,
best team on the field all the time? No. But we're the most talented? Yes. And so the games that we lost were because of us. It wasn't because of
yeah,
nobody else. It wasn't because we didn't know what the hell that they were gonna do. It was we shot ourselves in the foot time and time again. And I think it finally got ingrained into these guys that we have currently on the team to really realize that, hey, it's on us.
yeah,
We don't pull up 500 yards of offense. We don't get X amount of sacks. We don't get X amount of stoppages, or, regardless, 3 and outs. That's on us. That's not
yeah,
because they did anything, that it's not like we're playing no crazy. We're not playing, the Packers or nothing like that, or we're not playing the Chiefs or the Patriots or the Bucks or nope. It's because we did it to ourselves. You know,
Yeah.
at that next level is that's when you start debating. I was like, okay, well, we're kind of outmatched here, but it really is it's a mindset thing,
Yeah.
and putting ourselves in that mindset of, hey, we're ready to dominate, not win, but dominate. I think it's really been the biggest transition from that last year of mine to this year. They really got it ingrained in their head that, hey, we're looking to dominate. We're not looking to be like what McGregor said. We're not looking to be a part of. We're looking to take over.
Exactly. We
Hmm.
want the other team to remember when they played the Griz and just be
Yeah.
like, dang, dude, I do not want to do that again.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and
So
and and I said it earlier jokingly, but it really is one of those things. Regardless of who we play, man, it dials down to just being safe.
yeah,
I preach this dominance and I preach, this killer instinct, and I putting those guys in the turf. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, the most important thing is being safe on that. Even to those guys that we're not a huge fan of, we want everybody to be safe. We want everybody
yeah,
to have football games, and I think
yep,
it's coming down that, like you had mentioned, that we're gonna run into teams and opponents that are good teams. You know,
hmm hmm
I don't think we've seen nothing yet as far as Big Sky talent. But we're starting to get into those games. Like you said, next
yep.
week they moved it up because it's such a big game and so much
It's
is
a
on the line.
huge game. Yep.
Their offense over there at Eastern's putting up some fucking numbers, Jesus Christ. And so,
And they're
kind
and they're letting people go by them like their defense can't stop anybody.
of,
Holy
yeah.
cow!
So
But
it's
man,
gonna be a show, man. It's gonna be a show, dude.
yeah, I feel sorry for people that have to, ESPN2 viewers that have to see that field, but
Yeah.
that might make them go blind. Uh, I think that if they're gonna move it to ESPN2, they should be able to probably just move the game to Eastern Washington so that they have a better venue for it.
Hmm. Well, the game's at Eastern, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
It's at Eastern. I'm just giving crap,
Well, I
man.
don't know,
That they
Adam.
should.
First you said Cal Poly was away, and then next, I don't know,
I
man.
know. I'm trying to fool you, man. I'm trying to fool you.
You do this on purpose, dude. You got me all types of messed up.
So, what you have anything other things you want to go over, man?
You know what, man? I think it's just one of those weeks. It's a business week.
Yep.
It's another game. It's another opportunity, and it's going to put us in a position to gain a little bit of traction, a little bit more confidence than we already have. Again, the most important things is going out there with the right mindset, going out there with the right attitude, with that will, that hunger, the desire to get after it. You
Yep.
hear it time and time again. The heart of the Grizzly, it's different. It
Yep.
really is. I played. I mean, growing up, I mean, I've been around some really, really talented people that just a lot of times never gave it their all. And so now kind of seeing the program and how passionate these kids are and where they want to fall and everything that they want to accomplish. It's one of those things where you're like, fuck, okay, cool, it's time.
Yeah.
We've worked so hard to get here. It really is the pride and tradition of the Montana Grizzlies. And
Yep.
I think these players have them in the back of their head. And so, I mean, good luck to Cal Poly, brother. Let me just say that. But Jesus Christ, I mean, they got a storm coming their way, dude, and they don't even know it yet. I mean, they're over there
No.
prepping
No.
like it's gonna be another game. They're gonna put up some number. No, fuck that. It's gonna be shutouts, baby. Shutouts, 0-0s.
They're gonna be chewing on some bone and looking for some meat.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Hey, you know what? You
Prediction,
know what? I
buddy.
actually
Prediction. What's
I
your
did.
prediction, buddy?
Oh, prediction, dude. I'm thinking we hit 50s this week. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, you got to give a prediction. We got food on this, man. We got dinner on this, buddy.
Yeah, we do got fucking A. So let me think. Let me think. I think they're gonna hit oh shit. Uh what did I say? I'm gonna say 56, and I think
Okay.
I think the defense is gonna come out with goose egg.
Okay.
I think they're gonna come out
56
with
to 0. Whoo.
56-0. I know. But I
Nice.
mean it's totally obtainable. I mean, when you
Oh
really think
yeah. Oh,
about
it
it,
is.
it truly is attainable. And if any
Yeah.
of those players want to listen to it, take it as you will, man. I mean, take it as
Yeah.
hunger, take it as fire. But at the
Yep.
same time, I hope that, the Grizz take it the same way, dude. They take it as a
Yep.
personal vendetta to say, hey, you know what? We're here to play and we mean business. We're not playing no
Yeah.
games this year. We're
Yeah.
not here to be your friends. We're here to take over, you know? That's
Yep.
kind of where I'm sitting now with that. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking 52-7.
Oh, you think they're going to
So
score on a defense like we have?
I think there's it might not be on the defense. But I don't think they're gonna get shut out. I don't think
Wait. So
they're going
you
to.
think we're going to throw an interception? That's what you're telling me.
No. I last game I did come out wrong with that because I said we were gonna score off of a interception and the other team did it. So that might be like giving bad luck, man.
Shit, I don't know,
But
man.
yeah, I don't know. I kept on going back 52-7 or 52-3. I do think they'll score once. But yeah, I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
52-7.
Dude,
So
I don't even know. I don't even know. That I
well,
think we're gonna come out with a crazy dub. Yeah, I'm gonna say
yeah,
56. Just because I think we're gonna bump out of the 40s. Where we
yeah,
fall in the 50s, I don't know. We might have a couple field goals in there that might change it up. Who knows? But I'm
yeah,
expecting a crazy day. Some stats to be
yeah,
put up, some numbers to be put up, and some players to leave that game knowing, hey man, I did a lot of good things this week. Now it's time to
yeah,
do even better for the following week.
yeah. I totally agree with you. Some all-time records for careers are probably going to
Yeah.
be set this week. So,
Oh
and
yeah.
it
Oh
being
yeah.
homecoming as well, so that'll be awesome for them.
Hmm.
So yeah, we got a
It's gonna
big
the
one after
environment's gonna
this,
be
man.
crazy.
We got a big one
Oh
after this with Eastern Washington. I can't wait to preview that one, but
oh, that's gonna be a fun one for sure. But man, I mean, but looking at but like I said, the most important game is this week's. You
yep,
know,
yep.
we'll talk about that for all the listeners out there. We'll talk about it next week. We'll talk about
Next
Eastern,
week.
the matchups, what
Yep.
we think. You know, kind of the productivity of things and get realistic with the numbers. But really, when it comes down to it, man, I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think Cam's gonna have a hell of a game. Those offensive linemen, I don't think they're gonna give up 0 sacks. You know, and that's a
Yeah.
personal challenge. It's a personal goal. I think the defensive front's going to go out there, go crazy. The cornerbacks are already going to play lights out. I think we're going to have
Oh,
a pair of interceptions. You know, so I'm
yep.
expecting, and the expectation is high, and there's a
Yep.
reason for that. I'm not just blowing smoke just to blow smoke. I'm not turning wheels to turn wheels. I'm ready to get after it, man. It's one of those things. It's the deeper I get into it, I guess, the more passionate I am simply because I
Oh
know what
yeah.
it's like to play in those games. I know what it's
Yep.
like to play in the games that you're supposed to win. I know it's like to play in the games where they have you as an underdog, and it's fun all the way around, dude. And it
Yep.
really is a challenge.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah,
I still think they need to get the Justin Ford camera, and just have
mic'd
the
up,
cam
baby.
on him.
Mic one of
Oh
them
my
up.
gosh, we
Yeah,
need to get we really do need to get communications department or somebody on that because that would be
that'd be
legit.
a
That would be oh my
crazy.
gosh.
And the crazy part about it, man, I think Justin Ford is the epitome of just that passion, dude. I think he
Oh
represents
yeah.
passion, what he's looking to
Yep.
do, the way that he plays the game. I mean, every single play, whether it's him or not, you see
Yep.
him on the field celebrating. You know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
celebrating the
that's
passion. So,
infectious, man.
yeah,
The
infection,
attitude is
dude.
just infectious. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's absolutely crazy, man. So I think it's gonna be a fun one. For those of you guys that
yep.
are out to the game this week, I will be attending the game too. So if you guys want to come say what's up, come say hello. Let's get a beer together. Let's get a drink together. Also shout out to Trevor Wellno. Right now he's hosting. I think tomorrow. I think starting from 8 a.m. all the way to 6 p.m. a car wash, and it's essentially it's a fundraiser. So if you guys
Oh,
want to go
awesome.
out there, it's gonna be 2610 Radio Way here in Missoula, Montana. Go out there and support. Go show some love. Go get your whipping. You know, some of you don't
Exactly.
know how to wash your car, especially when it gets to the bad weather. So go out there and get your car washed.
What are they raising money for?
I don't remember off the top, but I just know proceeds of the actual fundraiser go to. I forgot the cause off the top of my head. I don't want to
Okay.
get the wrong cause. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, I
definitely.
know he's been posting about it religiously. Twitter's been pretty great about helping him out too, and you know, and I think that just kind of goes to speak to, you know, the place that we are and time that we are, being able to use your name to say, hey, you know what, come support this great cause. And I hope more
Yeah,
players step up, and use their platform to really kind of encourage positive things. You know, because
exactly.
realistically, when I was playing, that wasn't necessarily the case. Could you do it? Yeah, but you had a lot more hurdles to jump through in order to get to that point. And I hope this is entices. I think this is one of the good things with the name, image, and likeness. You know,
Yep. Yep.
it's gonna put them in a situation where, you know, these causes are really gonna be brought to the forefront of the community. You know, and I know Missoula is just really big on community
Yep.
support. and community love. And I think it's a great thing, man. So some of those players, I think they're doing it the right way. And Trevor's one of those guys, man. He's gonna stay on that guy. His brother's Marcus. Marcus is down that guy. They come from a great family, man, and they're really passionate about just Montana in general.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah,
Yeah.
go support them, guys, and get your car washed before
Yeah.
winter comes, man.
Yeah. I do
also,
have one more thing to say, dude.
Yeah, because I think I know what you're gonna say. I was gonna say, don't forget that, man.
Are you talking about PSU, Portland State?
Yes, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. No. So for those of you guys that don't know, Coach Barnum, which is the head coach at Portland State University, he spent $14,000, almost $500.
Oh.
14.5, paying a beer tap for the students. And it got to a point where Coors Light even kind of retweeted him. And all I'm going to say is, where are you, Bobby Houck?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Whew.
No, I'm just fucking around. That would be crazy numbers. If he decided, you know what, if we win the game, I'm going to buy every single person who bought a beer, I'll pay for the tab. Think about how much that would be.
Oh, man. Would you say over or under $100,000?
100,000? I don't know. I'd be going there 6 at a time. I'm talking about.
Well, if there's no limit, dude, man. Yeah, just get like
I'd
3 or 4 at a time.
I'd come with a different fit. I'd shave my beard. I'd do anything. I'd be like, hey, let me get another one. Weren't you just here? No, that wasn't me. That was my brother. I have a twin.
That was my cousin. Yeah, that was my twin.
That was my cousin, man. Yeah, so that number was just absolutely insane. But I will tell you this, man.
Awesome.
The drink of the week this week is going to be some tequila. Terramana tequila specifically, man. If you guys haven't had a chance, Terramana tequila is everybody knows who The Rock is. So he came out with his own brand called Terramana tequila. I've been sipping on that lately, and let me tell you, it's absolutely fantastic, dude. So if you guys have a chance to, run around town, it's not really anywhere in town lately. I think I know like of one place that might have it. I just can't remember off the top of my head. So that's going to be the drink of the week for me.
Nice.
And it'll be cheers to the Griz win. That's what
there
I'm
you
going
go.
for.
You're gonna put some like huckleberry coloring in it?
No,
or
man.
in it
No, hell no.
Just
straight up on the rocks, dude. No lime,
nice.
No salt. Yeah, it's bitter. It's bitter.
It's gonna be. You're gonna do a camel pack?
No, nothing, dude. Nothing. It's gonna be bitter like the Lost Cal Poly is gonna take this week, dude. I'm calling it right now.
It's gonna be really bitter.
Yeah.
So
I'm a fan though, man. That's some Mexican blood in me, dude.
See, I like tequila. It just makes me feel weird afterwards. Oh, it just makes me feel weird afterwards.
Oh no, man. That's my vice. I love that stuff, dude. Love that stuff. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, if you see Angel, he'll be drinking some tequila at the game.
Yeah. Come join me, y'all. Come join me.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, thanks for listening. Like you said, if you haven't followed us, or rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, we would love for you to do that. Support us. Those people that already have, thank you. We can't thank you enough for supporting us. If you want to get a hold of us, like we want you guys to be a part of this program, this podcast as well. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram and our Facebook page. Yeah. Give us a follow there, and you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. So wherever you get your podcasts, fix.
Exactly, man. And it's one of those things, man. We're growing, we're learning, we're human. Yep. None of us. I mean, we didn't go to school for specifically this type of stuff. The marketing stuff behind it. I mean, we're still in a learning process. It's still a ways for us to go. So I mean, we appreciate any type of love, even if it's just a simple like on our Instagram or a follower on our Twitter, dude, any of that type of stuff. It really just makes our day. And me and Adam can't express how thankful we are for it, but it's one of those things, man. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask to come on the podcast, man. I mean, we want to get to a point where we have people every week kind of debating ideas, talking about differentiating opinions, what we think, what we don't think, where we're going to be lying at, those types of things. Because it's about football and it's about Griz athletics and that stems all the way to basketball, volleyball, softball, tennis, golf. It doesn't matter, the sport. But again, we're growing, we're learning, but it really is just to shed light on some important topics, whether that be mental health or financial literacy. I mean, it's going to get to a point where we really try to grow this podcast to new heights, you know, and to be used as a resource for where their kids that are looking to get recruited or you know, just shedding some lights on some, you know, community topics, man. So at the end of it all, man, we just appreciate the love, man. And for me personally, I'm just super humbled and grateful to be here, dude. I really, really
Amen.
am. And I couldn't have asked for a better opportunity, couldn't have asked for a better place, man. And so don't be afraid to reach out and say hello. And yeah, man, go Griz, baby.
Go Griz.
Yeah.